Welcome back to Steel Bear Academy. My name is Jonathan. Today we're going to be cleaning, let's see, which one should we clean first? How about we clean this bad boy here? So this is the Ruger MK4. Notice we've got quite a few cleaning supplies set up here. We're going to use, today we'll use this brake-free, or sorry, this, brake-free CLP. It's very similar to the ballast we used earlier on another video. Got a few other things here. I've got a cleaning brush and the rod. So this is a 22 LR gun, so we're gonna need a 22 LR brush. I've got a toothbrush. I've got a hoop for the patches that will run through the barrel. Hopefully these are small enough that I can get them through this 22 barrel. And let's get started. So first things first, we gotta make sure our gun is unloaded. Make sure we lock it open. No round in the chamber, no mag in the gun, no ammunition in our area here. Now we're gonna take this gun apart. So this gun, let's see, so it's been a while since I've taken this one apart. I think I just push forward on this button here. Maybe I need to put it on safe. Ah, there it is. So it has to be on safe. And this little stick is going to go back into the barrel assembly, and then I just hook it off of the front of the gun here. This gun's new to me, so I actually haven't taken this. This is the first time I'm cleaning it. And then I believe we just pull that bolt out like so. Here's our upper. So I tried to basically run this gun until it started having malfunctions, and I think I've probably got about maybe 500 rounds through it, and I don't think I had any malfunctions so far. I believe this recoil spring is captive, so we're gonna leave it there, and we'll just clean around this bolt, okay? Here's the lower. We wanna make sure we don't dry fire it, but we can't dry fire it anyway without the magazine in it, even if it was on fire. Yeah, it doesn't fire unless the mag's in it, so we're good on that. This is pretty much still perfectly clean, just a little brushing needed here. We'll move these other lovely guns out of the way for a second. All right, first things first, we're gonna get our toothbrush here a little wet, and then we're gonna get a little bit of CLP into the barrel. So I'm gonna spray into the chamber there, and it should start making its way down. We'll spray a little bit more into the rest of this area here because there's a little bit of carbon built up. We'll let that seep down. Hopefully it'll come out the bottom in a second here. Maybe we'll want a little bit more in there. Let gravity help us. There it comes. Yeah, here comes out some. Get a little bit of drops on there. Obviously, you could be much more liberal with your application if you'd like to, but no need to waste product. So I'm just going to give this a nice little brushing. There are many, many different products you can use. This is one that I don't use as frequently because I have all this ballast all over here that I use, but I wanted to try something else, might as well. This one, I don't think you really need to worry about getting any of the CLP into a channel or anything. This is a hammer-fired gun. I'm not really worried about gumming up the channel, but obviously I wouldn't want to spray CLP directly into that firing pin channel. It's in here. It would be poking out the front there. So I always try to avoid getting anything in there if I can. We want to brush the front of the bolt face, trying to get underneath the extractor. That's that little hook right there. That's the thing that pulls the rounds out of your chamber. Might as well try to get underneath that as best as possible. It's not especially dirty. Yeah, not especially dirty. I've been very pleased with this gun so far. This gun is actually my son's gun. We'll give a once over to this exterior. Just a nice little rub down, and then we'll wipe it down at the end here. And then in here we want to get our brush, clean off all these spots where there might be a little bit of accumulation. This is not especially super important because not much dirtiness gets down in there. And I'm mostly just trying to clean out the like the ejection port area and rubbing against the side of the upper here. Now let's get into our bore. So we'll spray a little bit of CLP on there. I missed most of it. And then we want to be able to run from chamber side all the way through and all the way out the end. Looks good. I don't mind just coming on back through. Some people like to get to this point and then unscrew this, and then I don't really bother with that. This is adequate for my needs. A couple times through. We'll look through, see if it's nice and shiny in there. Looks pretty good. I can still see that there's more that needs to be cleaned on the, I guess this is the back side of the chamber here, on the or the exterior around the chamber. So we'll get in there, get some more cleaning going. It's a really beautiful day out, so good day for gun cleaning. This would be a place where I think some nice little picks would be good. I'm not sure if I have any picks anymore. I think I used to, but I think they got broken. So yeah, basically like you would take a pick that's got little scratchers on it and you would run it around the corners like so, just to kind of scratch away any pooling of carbon. But if you don't have that, that's all right. Okay, and then let's give a little once over to the frame here. I don't want to get any unnecessary oil onto the grip frame, so I'm going to try to wipe my hands off before. And I'm just doing a nice little brushing, trying to make sure all the carbon starts moving out and away from getting inside of the frame here. But, you know, even if it did, that's not a big deal. So, just don't want to get too aggressive because there's some small little parts in here that are kind of delicate, like that, and this part, I think it's the slide lock. So, just getting in there, working that CLP in there, trying to suspend any of the carbon that gets down into the frame. I'll wipe off the hammer. Put my my shirt down in there. Looks pretty good. And now let's run a patch through here, and then I'll use that patch afterward to wipe up the excess that needs to be wiped away on the inside of the upper here. So I just cut a little t-shirt here. I'm not sure if this is going to work because part of it has the stitching on it. We'll see. You can buy actual patches, but last couple times I cleaned, I ran out of patches, so we're just going to see how this works. See if it works, and if not, we'll cut this down to be a little smaller. This is not the right size hoop. See, that would be a problem because that's not going to fit in there. We'll keep that for the other one. Let's see. All right, well, I guess I don't have the 22 eyelet, so that's all right. we will make do without it. So, you know, if you ever run out of your proper cleaning tools, you just make do without it. So, you know, running your patch through for that final run through is not super necessary. If you want it to be absolutely spotless, then yeah, it is. But I am not worried about absolutely spotless. Adequately clean and not gonna rust is what I'm most concerned about. But this gun, I have not been super diligent about keeping it nice and lubricated. So I'm just gonna take a patch and I'm gonna shove it into these corners here to try to get some of that carbon out of the corners here. And I can see that there's definitely some building up in the corners that I'm not really able to get to with these particular tools. So we'll see if you can see that on there, but it's definitely getting buildup in these corners down here, down there. Okay, so I would need a proper, like, more firm brush than this and smaller and easier to get into those little fine points, but this will do for today. Do one more application of Break Free, and we'll let that sit while we're finishing up some other things. This thing, the bolt, I think we're pretty good on this. Just needs a final wipe down, and then we'll do a final wipe down here. Looks pretty good. Nice and clean. And then a final wipe down on the frame as well. This is an aluminum frame, so you don't really need to worry about the frame rusting. Not at all, because it can't rust, because it's aluminum. And then we'll just do a nice final wipe down on the exterior here, just to get any excess carbon off of there. Put my finger in there. We'll take a look here, see if it looks pretty good. Looks pretty good to me. We'll just wipe off these locking surfaces now, just because I saw a little bit of carbon on there. I could get in there and finish up cleaning up that carbon there if I wanted to. Just keep brushing. It will get off of there. And then when you go to wipe it down again, it should come off. Slightly better. You know, the longer you spend on this, the cleaner it'll get, but this is adequate for my needs. We will call that good. Maybe one more little wipe down. We'll see if that Break Free that I sprayed in there loosened any of this up anymore. Not really. Let's see if we have another product here. Foaming gun cleaner. Removes carbon, lead, and copper. This is a Hoppe's product. So I do believe this is probably going to remove some oil. So we'll spray a little bit in there, and then we'll give it a chance to see if this can work its magic. I don't want to get it on into any of these other tools that I might use on these other guns. So I'm just going to let that sit there for a second. And if I knew that, I probably would have started with this rather than going at it halfway through, but we'll see. We'll see what it does. Maybe we'll agitate it a little bit with the straw here. That didn't really do anything. We'll just spray a little bit more ballistol on it. This time we'll do ballistol. I'm more comfortable with ballistol, so I want to use what I know works. And we'll give a final wipe down. And one more wipe down. So when you're cleaning a gun, you want to make sure you lubricate it and protect it afterward to protect it from rust and to give it extra lubricity so that it has as minimal wear as possible. And you can do that with pretty much any oil. So I'm using ballistol, which is a CLP, just like brake free is a CLP, but I'm going to use the ballistol because I'm very familiar with it and I've used it so much that I feel comfortable with it. So that looks pretty good. We will reassemble now. Let's see, I think it goes this way actually. Yep, so we'll reassemble that. And then this just hooks onto, oh, by the way, you do want to get a little bit of oil onto these lugs that it's going to rest on, but just the oil that we used is going to be adequate for that. So don't need to put any extra. Same thing here. I think maybe a little bit on this pin will be fine. This is actually ballistol on this little applicator. We'll just put a drop on there. Just a drop. Don't need much. Now this one just hooks onto this, and then you just have to make sure it lines up with that hole. It might need to be on safe to go back in, like so. Looks good. Work that bolt a couple times. If we wanted to dry fire it, we would, but I don't have the mag with me, so we don't need to dry fire it, but I think it works. So that's how you clean a Ruger Mark IV. Thanks very much for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.